What up, everyone on YouTube? This is Lewis Trans, aka M25, aka Lewis JM, and oh boy, 2020 was not a good year for superhero movies. Sure, we had only the DC films such as the somewhat average Birds of Prey, and of course I believe the mess that was Wonder Woman 84, which me and my dad watched on Christmas, and oh boy, some of it didn't make any sense. The issue is that we never had a single Marvel film since Spider-Man Far From Home. But 2021's here, and they stated that they're going to bring in some Marvel content for both their Disney Plus and movie theaters. Of course, the content includes the releases of certain movies such as Eternals and Shang-Chi, and maybe a bit of Spider-Man to add, because it's part of the cinematic universe and it's part of Sony, and well, things could get a little better from here on out. But also, Marvel series coming up, say Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and of course the first one that's gonna come out, which is WandaVision, which, oh boy, that is a mind fuck as much as as all the other shows they have put together. But the one movie that I really, really want to see the most would be Black Widow. They say that it was going to come out on May of 2020. Of course, this is at the time of this recording that they're still going for that release date. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the Black Widow movie was supposed to come out in May of 2020 last year. But due to the pandemic and, well, closures of theaters, they have to postpone their release a couple of times. Once it was sometime early November was going to be the new date, but then they decided to push it back towards May. And while it's nice to note that they're still gonna keep going with the theaters, considering that HBO Max and AT&T decided to say fuck it and just dump all of their 2021 films into their streaming services, I feel like that they should have just released Black Widow on streaming service anyways. No, don't get me wrong. I'm okay with theatrical releases. I'm okay with Marvel and Disney wanting to post their big superhero movies to their theaters because of the because it's big crowd reactions. I mean, hell, I was with some friends at the Avengers Endgame movie, and and seeing Thor's hammer in the hands of Captain America, yeah, those are moments that you can live on in infamy. But considering that certain movies could either continuously get streamed, I don't see why they wouldn't take the L and just post it on their streaming services. Hell, just release it the same day as Wonder Woman 84 and have a who would better between female superheroes, like what I did with Ghost in the Shell and Power Rangers in a way. I mean, you take a look at the movies that were supposed to be in the theaters, ultimately leading to the streaming service. Hell, from the very start, it was Trolls World Tour, when it was supposed to come out in, I believe, March, but because the virus, they had to put it straight to streaming. Then you have Scoobs, which came out on, I believe, Amazon in a way, in streaming. And then, of course, Mulan, that self-proclaimed big-time Chinese film that was supposed to be a big deal, was put into their Disney Plus app with a premium service charge of, say, $39, which, whew, that's a bit expensive for my taste. And they're still going with this stuff, because you have other movies from Disney Plus, say, Artemis Fowl, which some people say is a bad movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I have to see it for myself. And of course, they recently released Soul on their app, because they cannot wait any longer. So why not put Black Widow on Disney Plus? Why not just say screw it and release in the app? Because they really want the big time money. I mean, sure, Wonder Woman 84 decided to just release it in both theaters and streaming, but a lot of people would prefer to stream it in their own homes than just risking their lives into going into theaters and getting the COVID-19, especially with a much more stronger strain that seems to be making an appearance slowly in the US. Hell, Tenet, the supposed big budget IMAX film that was supposed to be critically acclaimed, had stick their guns into theaters because the director thinks that this is the movie that should be in the widescreen. And look how well that went. So, as far as I'm concerned, Black Widow should have been better off just being released in streaming services, let alone streaming in both theaters and the app in general. I mean, when you think about it, well, it's just them playing the waiting game to see what happens if Marvel's gonna stick to their guns and get that movie released into the cinemas rather than in streaming. And even if they do that, there's gonna be a strong chance that they might have to postpone it all over again, and then we have to wait a little while longer. It's already January. May isn't until like 4 months at least. And you know that once it gets closer, they'll immediately realize, you know what? It's still too dangerous out there. We don't know if people are gonna go into theaters. Let's postpone it again for another couple of months until it comes out. And it pains me even more because this is the one movie that is supposedly part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe way before the Avengers Infinity War. Because this movie takes place between Civil War and Infinity. And it just pains me to note that we can't be waiting for much longer to see what Black Widow's been doing in between. Hell, this is the first ever movie that Scarlett Johansson's gonna get her own solo movie when for the past couple of years, it's always her being part of the background, being part of a side character from time to time, whether it be in the Iron Man or Avengers or Captain America, pretty much everywhere. So I wanted to see her time to shine in this film, and yet it's getting annoying the fact that I had to be waiting it out for a long time until it comes out. And believe me when I say it, it's been hard for me since this pandemic hit. Couldn't go to New York since early March. The concert I was supposed to go to, the Miku Expo, for last year, got postponed twice before canceling. I still have that ticket and still waiting for that damn refund to show up. All the conventions I usually go to, like say Comic-Con or New York NYC, went to just streaming panels, which isn't the same. Hell, I too had to watch a couple of movies in a few apps, and while it is best to not talk about it, there were certain movies that I either fell asleep or wasn't interested in much. Though The Gentleman was pretty good for a Robert De Niro clone. Still, while I respect Marvel and Disney keeping to their guns and posting their movie into theaters for May. In my head, I believe that they should have at least have it streamed as well, so that way people won't take that said risk. And I know a lot of people out there would say that it would be wrong, it would ruin that Marvel experience, but when you look outside, how much has changed? I'm pretty sure everyone would think the same thing and have the movie streamed, rather than risking their lives to go into a cinema and you don't know who has a virus and who doesn't. So, I'm hoping that once May comes around, Disney and Marvel would either still keep to the theaters or do a hybrid between theaters and their app. Because a lot of people are getting sick and tired of waiting. And I, for one, don't want to be kept in the dark for this long without clarification. So here's hoping that the Black Widow film will be what we've been waiting for so long, and hope that it can actually come out. Because I'm getting tired of this waiting game. Definitely not. So that's it for this little blog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You leave a comment below to see if you guys think that that if Black Widow will remain in theaters, or if it will be streamed, or if it could be a combination of both. Because these are my own personal thoughts with this film. Film's a little delay. Stay tuned for more videos, and let's just hope that things will be better in 2021. # where are the good cartoons?